single round, but mashing decks, clashing luck on the line. Are you ready for the chaos? This is the Mixed Results Podcast. Let's go!
And welcome back, everybody, to the Mixed Results Podcast. I am Kevin with MixedGaming190, and my co-host is
Nick with Unexpected Results MTG, and our guest today, the one and only MagicAddict24.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Glad to be here, guys.
Welcome in, buddy.
Welcome in.
Yes. Very excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
We all know you as the Magic Addict.
Yes.
But what is your real name and how old are you?
My real name is Lee,
Lee.
and I'm 38.
38.
Yep.
Still the youngest.
Yes.
I got this, guys.
Still holding the torch down there, baby.
Mhm.
The running joke that everybody's been around my age or maybe a little bit older, younger, and Mix is just all alone down there.
He's just a baby.
I am.
He's just a
Granted,
baby.
It's only still 29, but still there.
All right. Yeah. My wife says she's 29 too.
Oh, right. Right? Hey, finally have somebody. Well, Lee, where are you from? Or where do you currently live?
I live in New Jersey, born and raised, kind of central Jersey. Some people say that doesn't exist, but it does. There's a central Jersey, and I live in it. Yeah, I'm about like a half hour from the beach, so not
Nice.
too shabby. Yeah.
Not too shabby.
Now, there's always the funny concept of people saying that, you know, they work in the city, they work in New York, but they live in Jersey. Is that really a thing? Most people live in Jersey and work in the city?
There's a lot of commuters for sure, and we see that in our congested traffic in the mornings and afternoons. But I'm not one of those people. I live and work in New Jersey. I support my own state, damn it.
There we go. Now, I have another hot Jersey question while we're on the topic. Is it pork roll or Taylor ham?
Pork roll. Taylor Ham's a brand, bro.
There you go. There you go.
Taylor Ham's a brand.
I knew that you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah, man.
So Lee, you said you grew born and raised New Jersey. What was life like growing up? Did you grow up with siblings? What kind of activities did you do as a kid?
So yeah, I grew up like, I guess, average middle class family, I guess. I have one sister. She has a disability. I've talked about her in one of my videos that I made. So she has this like rare condition and stuff, but she's, you know, relatively independent. She lives with my parents, but does a lot of pretty much most things for herself. So that's pretty cool. She's older than me. So I grew up with an older disabled sibling. So funny thing about that is like I tease her. She's my sister, dude. Like I mess with my sister, but like I remember when I like first like entered my wife's family, and I was like busting my sister's chops. They're like, "Stop doing that. That's so mean." Because they see her as like this, you know, disabled individual, and I'm like, "No, she's my sister, and I can mess with her all I want." You know, dude, she's bitten me before in fighting over the controller for the TV. I got a grudge here.
It's different when it's family, but with somebody else outside of family, yeah.
Oh, that's a different story.
Yes.
That's a different story. Don't even get me started.
Yeah, completely.
That one came out organically, and then I realized, like, yeah, throw my catchphrase around, but that was not a plug, I swear. But yeah, so yeah, average middle class family, my sister, and I mean, I did, I guess, what a lot of typical kids would do. I mean, we're talking about like childhood. It was, you know, video games, Legos, you know, playing out. It was a lot of playing outside with my friends. You know, we did a lot of like manhunt and stuff, especially as we got older. Actually, we played this game called 21, which is a better version of Manhunt, but I digress. Yeah, I mean, we did kid things, played backyard sports, you know, like backyard football just as an excuse to hit each other. And then, I also made skits and stuff as time went on, and always had an interest in the creative outlets and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, pretty much sums it up, I would say.
Yeah.
Pretty much sums it up.
Very nice.
Well, with your big and diverse childhood and what you did, what do you do outside of content that we don't see?
That you don't see. One thing that you haven't seen, but I do eventually plan on, because I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of my content, like I integrate my interests into my content, like my non-magic interests. Obviously, it's always like somehow related to magic, but like I like my guitar, my songs, my skits. I've been making skits that were not magic skits since I was a kid, so like the skits are fun for me to make, and it kind of comes naturally to me. Same thing with the music, like let's write a song. I love writing songs. I love playing my guitar. Let's write one about magic. And like, so I started doing that a little bit. But the one thing that I haven't done yet, and I super plan on doing it, is making a stop motion skit or video. Obviously, magic related. But I've done a few stop motion projects that can never see the light of day. But they are it was a blast to make. So that's definitely something I have that you haven't seen that I would like to show you guys one day. But
And
it's a very
for,
time consuming
obviously, for the
process.
people who don't know, and what stop sketches? What is it again? Is it the where you take a picture, move one single thing, and then take another picture, and then however
Yep.
many photos?
A lot.
Okay.
If it's a really good one, which I don't make, but if it's a really good one, it's got like thousands of pictures, for like each little minuscule frame.
Mhm.
I cheat a little bit. Mine are like very choppy and stuff, but like mine are the things I've done have also been intentionally humorous.
Mhm.
So like the fact that it's a little rough around the edges kind of almost plays into that a little bit. So like I try to like capitalize on my lack of skill there as much as I can.
Well,
But yeah, it's a very tedious process though, for sure. For sure.
I bet.
Now, you don't have to let anybody know if you don't want to, but as far as work and parenting, you work and are a parent, correct?
I am. I'm a full-time social worker. I'm a supervisor at my agency, actually, which is why I really hope some of my content doesn't make it to people's eyes at my agency.
Mhm.
If you've seen some of my content. But yeah, so I'm a full-time social work supervisor, serving children. And then I am married to my beautiful wife. She's literally my best friend. Um, we've been together since 2008, married since 2014. And we have two kids, awesome boys, crazy boys, feral boys that are making my hairline receder than genetics would otherwise have done. But I love them to death. Dexter and Oliver are their names, and my wife is Amanda. So yeah, that's the little crew we got. And yeah, that's one of my favorite things in my life. The favorite thing in my life is my family, obviously. So yeah.
Family's really
So
important.
yes and yes.
Unexpected, and I believe both of our families we were raised big on our families.
Absolutely.
So it's very important.
Absolutely. 100%.
Another, obviously big shout out to your family, but also big shout out to you for being a social worker. We were talking a little bit before we got on the podcast, but it's a highly underutilized resource and a resource that is getting depleted more and more. And for somebody to do that for a living, it takes more than, clocking in and clocking out. So, thank you for doing that for your community and being
Appreciate that.
a resource in a place that people can get some help.
Yes, it's a very difficult at times job, but it's also very rewarding at times. But you take that all, and I just do my best day in and day out, and I can rest my head easy at night knowing that I did all that I could for these people in need that my agency serves. So, you know, but you can't bring it home with you, as we were talking about. You know, you'll burn yourself out. Compassion fatigue is a real thing. Vicarious trauma is a real thing. So a lot of self-care, you know, goes into the profession if you want to survive anyway.
So big supporter of mental health as well.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, there needs to be more out there. The awareness needs to get out there more. Same thing goes with individuals with like developmental disabilities. You know, there's the more the word gets out there and the more people can understand it, you know, especially autism. My older son is on the spectrum, so it hits extra close to home. My sister, as I mentioned, has a disability, so that hits close to home. And I would say just about everybody else in my family probably has some kind of mental health thing going on one way or the other. Humorous but serious at the same time, you know.
Yep.
It's so yeah, it's super important for those supports to be out there.
Well, it takes guys like you to do it. So
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Into your content, you're famous and very popular for "Don't Even Get Me Started." It lives rent free in all of our heads. What was your inspiration for that?
If I'm going to be completely honest with you, it kind of just happened. It came out organically in the very first video that used the line, which is my video about asking, do you tap your lands 90 degrees or 45 degrees, you know, and to the left or to the right. And at the end, I say, you know, and don't even get me started if you play them in the front. I meant that in that, especially in that one. I will never say anything. I might joke about it in a game, but I'll never actually like get mad about it in real life. You do what you want with your cards, but like when I said it in that video, it kind of just happened. And then that video kind of like is one of my better performing videos. And, you know, I was like, you know, it worked in that one. And then I just started doing it at the end of most of my videos. I don't use it in all, but I use it in most. And it kind of just stuck, you know, and people started saying it in the comments and stuff. So I just kind of rolled with it. It was coincidence. It was not planned. I didn't give it much thought beforehand. And here we are. But don't even get me started, guy.
Mm-hmm. And it's really funny how, you know, we were also talking a little before, you're like, you know, it's crazy, you know, that sometimes people are like, you know, oh, I'm afraid to communicate with them because, you know, they're a big creator, even though we may not feel like we're big at any level. But
No.
you're, of all the Magic creators that I follow, that saying alone probably sticks in my head more than anything. So it works. Like, you know, I try to follow as many Magic creators as I can. I've been following Magic on social media for a long time. And when I think about Magic and social media right now, that's what pops into my head. So it works.
Which is a very surreal thing to hear. You don't even understand. We were talking about a little bit about that earlier too. You know, it's just like, it's just such a surreal feeling that like I'm even in this position right now. Like the fact that you guys even want to ask me questions about like my life, I'm like, who the fuck am I? You know what I mean? Like I'm just this dude who just started making Magic the Gathering content literally because I didn't have much opportunity to play Magic because my usual pod just doesn't play like they used to. And I was like, if I can't play Magic, I want to at least like talk about it, and of course it was like a creative outlet eventually as well. And here we are, you know, it's like, it's crazy how it happened. This was all not calculated at all.
But hey, we're here now.
We are.
We're here now.
Mm-hmm.
Living for today.
Going on more about your content and different stuff that you do, you often ask a lot of Magic the Gathering questions or give Magic the Gathering hot takes. Does the comment section ever get toxic? And if you do, how do you handle those comments?
It really doesn't. And like you think it would, but it really doesn't. I mean, maybe I could probably count on one hand throughout the, since I started this back in, June-ish 2025. Like in my earlier videos, I noticed that there'd be like one or two throughout the first couple of videos of somebody like getting mad about something I said or having a very strong opinion that opposed the one that I was expressing. But even in those situations, I would respond with either humor or validation. It's like, no, that's a totally valid point you're making. Like it's like, because like I come off all smug. I understand that, but it's kind of like the bit. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like that in real life. Like I'm not walking around like shoving my opinion down everyone's throat, making them feel like crap about theirs. And that's not my intention with my videos either. It's meant for a laugh at the end of the day. And I hope is probably the better word. I hope when people watch my content, that's the way they're taking it. You know what I mean? And I hope that the minimal to no toxicity in the comment section is indicative that people are picking up what I'm putting down in that regard. Not taking it too seriously, even though I'm like pretending to be serious in a lot of my videos. I mean, just trying to have fun here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah.
And hopefully, in my opinion, at least when watching some of your videos, is you have a way of making it seem serious, but also kind of silly at the same time. And so, for me, it's not taken as a serious note, as like you're forcing your opinion on everybody and this is right and everything. It's more of a, it's a joke. It's joking seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I guess some kind of, it's like magic satire almost, if you will, if that's even a thing. So half serious, half joking around, coming on. I mean, I'm not a serious person at all in real life.
But you did say the whole land situation, that lands in front, not acceptable, correct?
Yes, it is not aesthetically pleasing. I understand that the OGs were taught in many cases to play that way. Same thing with the tapping at 45. And people always bring up the arrow. The arrow in the image is at 45 degrees. It's like, dude, the arrow in the image is just telling you which way to turn the card. It's not telling. It doesn't say. It doesn't indicate the degrees to which to turn it. It just says turn the card that way. See, I can go on for days about the lands. Let's not jump down this rabbit hole here about land.
Before we jump out of this rabbit hole, I saw something at my pre-release that I had never seen before. I've seen lands tapped 45. I've seen lands in front. But have you ever seen lands stacked vertically on the right side of the playmat next to their deck?
You mean like
where the graveyard's supposed to be?
Yes. So
like a graveyard.
Well, like his graveyard, the graveyard is next to the deck, right above the deck, but right next to it, going vertical from the top of the playmat all the way down, were the lands.
Man, kids these days, they're really they're experimenting more than I would ever be willing to. That sounds appalling.
It was a bit rough. It was a bit rough, but like you said, I don't say anything. I just sit there and I play the game I like.
Bite your tongue.
Yeah, exactly. It's I have control. I only have control over my cards. I have to tell myself that. It's like my meditation before each game. I can only control my cards unless I'm playing my Azorius control deck.
Then you can.
Then I control your cards.
Then I control your cards.
With your content, you have created some great MTG songs. What is your musical background?
I'm just self-taught, man. I'm not. I don't know how to read music. I know how to read tabs, if you know what those are, if you've ever dabbled in instruments, but it's cheating on how to learn other people's songs. But yeah, ever since I was a kid, I've always liked writing my own songs. It started like I had this random CD that was just like instrumental music, and I would write songs over the lyrics just for myself. It's like I would like perform it or anything. And then eventually that evolved into like asking for I started on bass actually, and then I eventually evolved into guitar. I got an acoustic, um, and it's mostly my own original stuff that I make. Even like my non-MTG songs are my own original songs about like more serious topics and stuff. Um, but I know a few songs, like real songs, but it's mostly just that. It's a creative outlet. It's a hobby for me. That's my musical background. I'm not like classically trained or anything like that, as you can probably tell by my horrible skills.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
Not at all. I'm thoroughly impressed hearing that you don't have any formal training and that you are self-taught.
Well,
How
stop
many
it, stop
songs
it.
do you think you have written in your lifetime if this is just a creative outlet?
Well, I've put in a lot of my own personal songs on like CDs. Yeah, see,
Okay.
I'm really aging myself. I
No.
like to have hard copies of a lot of my creative projects. So like I've made, like I mentioned, the stop motion and other things. Like I have all of my projects on DVDs or CDs or whatever, and I have all my songs, and I probably have like I have like 4 albums worth of songs,
Well,
and that's
Impressive.
recorded. That's recorded. I've had made other songs in the past that just never
Mhm.
stood the test of time or were put on any kind of device or anything. But
those are all
I have at
recorded and
least,
finished.
yeah, I mean, not like properly. I didn't, not in a
Mm.
studio or anything, but just with like my mic or whatever, record them, edit them a little bit in like a music editing software. And
Mhm.
but yeah, those are not my magic songs though. A lot of political songs, a lot of it's like kind of like I treated it as a journal, if in like my songs, like my serious ones, like
Mhm.
how I'm feeling that day, how an experience I had, how I'm feeling about the world, whatever the case might be. It's kind of like a journaling process for me when I'm in the thick of it. I haven't written a song like that in a long time. It comes when it needs to.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's a great
What
outlet
are
for your emotions and feelings too.
100%.
what are some of your musical inspirations for the style of music you write?
I mostly listen to punk rock. Like I'm all, I have a very myopic taste in music. If it's not fast and borderline angry, I'm not huge into metal. I like some metal, but like punk rock, like West Coast punk, like Pennywise is like my favorite band of all time. Bad Religion, Descendants, Rancid, a lot of these bands that some people know, some people don't, but like they're like that's my jam. But I have
Mhm.
dabbled in like other things as well, like Frank Turner. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's got like he used to be like heavier in his music, but he does like this like he has this cool band, the Frank Turner band, and it's just awesome music. I like Johnny Cash. Um, I don't know why I got into him because like no one in my family's into him, but I got into him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's basically my musical influence is just punk rock. Uh, yeah.
I've got a book recommendation for you then. In college, I was doing a intro to Eastern religions class, and we were
Okay.
studying Buddhism, and we had an author of a book called Hardcore Zen come
Hardcore Zen.
in, and he relates Zen Buddhism to punk rock music, and he talks a lot about the history of punk rock and like in the area of Ohio that it really kind of grew up in and blew up to a bigger scene and everything like that. It was actually
Sure.
a very good read. I'm not a big reader,
Yeah.
but
I
those are
barely read my cards, bro.
oh uh, I'll read it 3 times and I still wouldn't have read
Yep.
it.
When it
Yeah,
happens,
yeah.
still don't understand why it happened.
Yeah. It's the ADHD, man. I have to keep rereading the same
Mhm.
page over and over again. But that does sound like an interesting book.
It's
So
it's a short read too. It's good. I would
nice,
definitely recommend it.
nice quick hit.
A nice quick hit. There you go.
I like it.
Um, you have a Discord. You've
I
talked
do.
about it several times on your channel. Tell us a little about your Discord, and do you have any advice for anybody who might be starting their own?
Um, so I mean, I created the Discord pretty early on in my content creation career, which has been like, I'm not even a year deep into it yet, but like, um, I created it kind of to solve the problem that led me to making content in the first place. In a way, is like, I wanted more people to play with. I wanted to bring people together to play together and create this space. Because I remember seeing in the comments a lot, it's like, oh, I don't get to play as much, or I haven't played in X amount of time, but this is my favorite command. Like they're answering my questions, like, even though I don't get to play anymore, this is my favorite thing. And I know it's not for everybody, but like a solution to that is like start playing with people. And it was a nerve wracking thing for me at first because before content creation, I never played online with anybody. I never engaged with communities like that. Like I might leave a comment somewhere on YouTube, but like I wouldn't like, you know, I wouldn't interact much with any community of any, subgenre of anything, So I was a little nervous about it because like now I'm going to be like engaging with people, face to face sometimes for the games and stuff. But as I did it, I was like, this ain't bad. It's actually pretty cool. I get to play Magic, meet some awesome people along the way, and here we are. And it's been growing. It had a little bit of a spike recently because of the tournament I've been advertising, which is actually kicking off tomorrow. So I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, as far as advice goes, I like again, this is one of those things like I don't know if I'm the guy to ask for advice on this thing. It's like I barely know how to change the channel permissions in the damn thing. Like I'm so like not tech savvy. Like I know the basics. I know my way around, but when it gets to like the technical stuff and but with that said, all I would say is just be sure to create a space where people can like-minded people, like whatever it is, it doesn't have to be Magic, it can be whatever you're into, like-minded people can gather there safely and enjoy this thing together and maybe become friends, maybe just become talking buddies on the Discord, whatever it is, and give those people a voice. If you're the server owner, give them a voice. Like for quite a few things related to this tournament, I had polls. Because I would sit there, was like, should this be a bracket 3 tournament? I was like, you know what, let's have them decide. What do people want to play? And this most people voted for bracket 3 for this one, but there was a good chunk that wanted to have a pre-con tournament. So I am dedicated to making the next tournament pre-con because let's make those folks happy, and everybody gets a little something that they want. So the next one's going to be pre-con. Just throwing that out there.
That's awesome.
So, but yeah, just do your best to make it a welcoming, safe environment, and that's also part of the challenge is because there will be disagreements that pop up, and that's something I never prepared for when I made the Discord. It's like it's my responsibility to manage these interpersonal issues that sometimes arise. It's luckily not often. It's only happened like here and there, but it's people are people. Some people get along, some people don't. And plus it's all like a lot of it's like texting. Like in the chats, and it's really hard to know the tone and the inflection of the voice and stuff through that. So a lot can get lost in translation there. So it's no one's fault most of the time. So, but it's another interesting sub journey of my content creation is the Discord. I think it's up to like 330 something members now. So it's
Right
like
on.
it's growing. It's growing, and we have a good time in there. And everyone's pretty psyched about this tournament, which is another thing. Like the tournament just gets excitement going. Some healthy competition thrown in there. But there's casual games that happen in there as well in between. So, yeah, just have fun with it.
I get people all the time, as a content creator, people asking like, how do you get to play Commander so often? Like, where do you find games and stuff like that? And it's like, obviously some of these sites that we use to play online have the ability to join a random game, but that's what these communities are for. It's a little bit better in a way where instead of, jumping into a random group of people You're in a random community of people.
Yep.
Like you said, like-minded kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think
But the
that's
more you engage with those random people in the
Yep.
community, they become less random.
Correct.
You know what I
yes.
mean? And more familiar. And there's people in there that, I mean, as far as I know, with the exception of this one couple that's in there, nobody in there has met anybody else in person, as far as I'm aware. But they all come together. They joke around. They smack talk. You know, a lot of smack talk. And
hmm
you know, my Discord is known to get a little raunchy sometimes in the chat. You know, and I welcome that. I mean, that's my style. You know, so I'm okay with it. Um, so, but every community, and that's the thing is you got to find the right community for you because like I would hope that my community is right for everybody, but you know, chances are it's not right for everybody. You know,
hmm
and you know, but if you're going to create one that you would want to see yourself or try
There you
to.
go.
You know? So, the golden rule of Discord.
Hmm.
I like it. I like it.
Well,
I've
with
always like
oh, go ahead.
I said, I've always thrown around the idea of maybe building my own. I have like my own channel, but it's not something that I promote or invite a lot of people to.
Sure.
Just because, I look at yours, I look at Attempt to Cast, I look at the Command Post, all these other, creators that have these giant communities of people they've built. And I'm like, oh, that's a lot to manage, man.
Yeah,
So,
it is and it isn't. You know, like if I wasn't doing this tournament, like the tournament is like a lot to organize and stay on top of. But like other than that, I kind of the way I approach it anyway, because I see a lot of these other discords that you're mentioning, like they're really like doing a lot. You know what I mean? Mine doesn't do that much. The tournaments is basically the peak of like what we're doing. Like it's not. It's just a place for people to meet up and play. Really, like that's the way I try to foster. That's the community I've
mhm,
tried to foster. It's like we're just here to chill, play Magic, talk Magic. That's it. You know, like it's not like this. And I did one giveaway, as you know, unexpected. That was my first and only giveaway at this point, and I've been doing this for almost a year. And it's not because I don't want to give away and stuff like that, but it's just like it's not something that I honestly. It's just one of those things that
Yeah.
I don't know how to word this without saying like because I wanted to give back to the community, which is why I did it.
mhm.
But giving away things like that all the time is it costs money. I'm not gonna lie, it costs money.
Does
But it's also one of those things like I don't want people to follow me because they're expecting to get something outside of just a laugh. Um, and there's nothing wrong with taking that approach. I'm not bashing anybody who does. It's just not my style to do that, I guess is the way to put it. So I just want to get together, laugh, talk Magic. Like that's all I want to do.
hmm.
Right on.
Yeah.
Anybody looking for a Discord channel to find people play Magic, you may have missed this tournament, but there is another tournament always on the horizon. So make sure
Absolutely.
you go. Link is gonna be in your bio on TikTok, of course, right?
Yep. And if there's any issues using that link, because that happens once in a while, and I don't know why. Like so many people get right in. Other people's like, hey, the link's not working. So I'll DM them the link. So if you need the link, I'll DM it to you. Just reach out to me.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Part of Magic, and you said you played with Legos and video games. What sparked your passion for gaming and all things nerdy?
Definitely for Christmas. It's funny. I got a lot of cool stuff on Christmas. What
Hmm.
can I say? But I got the N64 and it came with Zelda Ocarina of Time, and that changed my life, dude. That game solidified my love for video games. Like before that game, I played like Super Nintendo, but I was more of like let's go play outside, let's go ride a skateboard, ride around, ride on our bikes around the neighborhood or whatever, play backyard sports, whatever the case might be, and like video games were more of like a downtime thing for me. Then Zelda happened, and I became obsessed. I would just nonstop play it. And the same thing happened a little bit more down the road, but for Final Fantasy VII was another one for me. I know it's so cliche to think seven's the best one, but I will stand. Those are my two top video games ever made: is Zelda Ocarina of Time, and Final Fantasy VII. Became obsessed. Um, I've beaten both of those games. I can't even tell you how many times. I've just replayed. And Magic, of course. I got Magic. I got the starter 99 set in as 99 for Christmas, and it came with this VHS tutorial that's so corny and
Really?
cheesy. In one of my videos from a while back, I think it was like, "What's your Magic origin story?" or whatever. I integrated a lot of clips from that VHS because it can be found on
I remember
YouTube. So it's that old tutorial tape lives rent free in my brain because I have a soft spot for that video. Because not only was I like a young nostalgic type of thing, but it's like what really kicked off Magic for me, introduced me to it, and yeah, I've been obsessed with those things ever since. I still play video games, not as much lately now that I'm doing the content and the Discord and all of this, playing a lot more Magic and stuff. But when I do have downtime, I still play video games. Horror games are my jam most of the time. Love horror games. Scare me, please.
I think this is a conversation we've had on the podcast before. It is something that I will never get. I don't understand people wanting to be scared for entertainment and for enjoyment. There's nothing enjoyable about being scared.
It's safe scared though, dude, because you're scared,
don't
but
feel
you know
safe.
you. But
I don't feel safe.
I don't feel safe. Oh man, I mean, it also depends on my mood because, like, I'll give you that. It depends on my mood. Like, if I'm generally like in more like anxious place, those games and movies, because I'm a huge horror movie person as well. Games and movies are like, especially games though, because it's like more immersive. You know what I mean? Like a movie, you're a fly on the wall, but in a game, like you're there. So like gaming more so than movies when I'm like in an anxious state of mind. Like I can't deal with it. Like I'm already at a heightened state right now. I don't need that. But like when I'm not, I could use a little rush right now. You know what I mean? Let's get that rush. And it's safe fun, safe scared, as me and my wife call it. We're safe scared. It's not like we're really being chased by this thing.
Now, question: when you get those videos on TikTok or wherever you might be watching, where it's like a baseball all of a sudden comes flying at the screen, like, do you enjoy
Jump
that?
scares.
So, you like jump scares you're talking about?
Yeah, but like the videos where it's like casual. Oh, the guy foul tips the ball and now it's coming right point blank at the camera.
I
and you,
don't
like,
think
jump.
I've seen it. I don't think I've seen a video like that.
No.
I don't
See
think I've
'em
ever
all the
seen a video
time.
like that.
See them all the time and I hate it.
And you're like not expecting it.
Yes,
you,
and it's a jump
and-
scare, and I literally jump and I want to throw my phone across the room.
See, jump scares in horror can be effective when used sparsely and strategically. But when it's I'm not into like jump scare horror. I'm more about atmosphere and slow burns and like the build up, the anticipation. I like those slow burns, which a lot of people hate on because they call them boring drags and all that, But like I love the movie The Witch by Robert Eggers. He's the same guy who made the most recent like Nosferatu. Anyway, he pretty much he made The Lighthouse and The Northman. A lot of slow burns, and I love slow burns. Give me the slow burns. But then I can use like my junk food horror, like slashers and stuff like that. Like the OG Halloween is one of my favorites. The original Exorcist is awesome. Oh yeah.
Can't do any of these movies, man.
No.
I've walked out of the theaters multiple times on these movies and just like, nope, I'm not going back in. You
You're
cannot
just a little
convince me.
scaredy cat, aren't you? You're a little scaredy cat.
Hand up, hand up, hand up. 100%.
No, nothing wrong with that.
And I'm the big burly guy that every Halloween, it's like if we go into the haunted house, oh, we got to put Nick in the front. And it's like, why you got to put me in the front? No one who doesn't want to be here.
No, you have the stature of the killer in those movies, dude. You're walking around like Leatherface, you know. You're the one to protect everybody, dude.
No, I'm running. I'm a slow one, so I gotta try to outpace you somehow. I gotta get a head start. I gotta get a head start.
It's funny.
So I'm assuming your that Christmas of getting Ocarina of Time is probably your favorite video game memory.
Yeah, cracking that open. Far. Yeah, and starting it up, dude. That intro menu screen. I don't know if you played it, but like.
I wasn't a 64 house. My neighbor was the 64 house, but I would always go over there, after outside playing. My neighbor's older brother would throw on Ocarina of Time and start playing, the pan flute or whatever. It's what it's called. It's not the pan flute, the ocarina. It's called Ocarina of Time for a reason. But I always thought it was cool, that you played the music and it did something, and
opens a door
in the game.
Yeah, that was a really cool mechanic for sure.
Calls your horse.
Yeah, Epona, my girl.
So Link is probably your favorite video game character of all time, but do you have a favorite superhero?
So I might get some flack for that. I'm not huge on superheroes.
That's fine.
I'm not huge, but I will say when I was a teenager, I really liked the Christian Bale Batmans.
Okay.
Like all of those, I was so down. And of course, I like the Michael Keaton ones too that came before that. That I grew up on those. So I always liked Batman because the Batman movies, I should say. So if I had to pick one, I'm going with Batman. But this is coming from a guy who's not well versed or super into superheroes in general. But I do like Batman.
Even with kids, like they're not big Marvel MCU fans wanting to go watch the movies.
Not yet. I mean, my younger one, he likes Spider-Man a lot, so we watched like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans.
Yep.
So like, I do like those movies. So Spider-Man's probably a close second to Batman. I do like those movies. I probably would. I don't have an interest to go see them, but like whenever I see one, I don't know about the newer ones, but like the older ones, like I'm like, these are good movies. They're fun movies. They're fun. So I imagine the newer ones are probably fun movies too. Kind of like in the same vein as like Jurassic Park. You go there just to see superheroes doing superhero things. When I go to see Jurassic Park, I'm not looking for this riveting, deep story and everything. I'm looking to watch dinosaurs fuck shit up. Like that's what I want out of Jurassic Park, and it's probably a similar mindset for the movies. I don't know how deep these movies get because I haven't seen most of them, so I can't attest to anything here.
But in some ways, that's a better way to go about it. If you're not, super fans don't enjoy the movies; they pick them apart and get mad at the smallest things. So being a casual fan like that allows you to enjoy the movies and not be so critical. Yeah. But there was a tidbit that you teased before the pod that you are a big fan of, which I also am a big fan of, that I'm curious about. Lord of the Rings. You're a big Lord of the Rings fan.
Huge Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings. I will admit I've only read some of the first book. It's as someone who doesn't read, as we've joked about before, I don't read, barely read my cards, and it's a hard read, for someone who doesn't read, to like just jump into that. But the movies, like I feel like they're just works of art, bro. The original Lord of the Rings trilogy movies, like those. Peter Jackson. The Hobbit, I still watched them all. I still enjoyed bits of it. but it wasn't the same. I feel like the same TLC wasn't put into those as it was the original three. Like
Hmm.
a lot more CGI, which CGI is needed for a giant fantasy world movie like that, of course. But like, I mean, like the, the orcs in the original, like each of those like 30 orcs that were running towards the camera were
Real people.
handmade, real
Hmm.
people. Where like, and then and what turned me off like almost immediately was like, I think it was the White Orc in the newer Hobbit movies.
Hmm.
How he's like CGI. I'm like, why didn't you just find like get the Rock for God's sake? You know, give him that like look that the orc had, and call it a day. With
Yeah.
the same like prosthetic makeup and stuff that you gave the orcs in the original, and still enjoyed the ride. But this is where like a super fan mentality comes into play, where like
Yep.
I'm nitpicking and stuff, as you just mentioned. So
That's why I asked, because I feel similar way about The Hobbit, but I need to ask your opinion about Rings of Power.
Rings of Power. Um, you know, I when that came out, I haven't had a lot of time to devote to a show.
Hmm.
So I did try the first episode or two, and I feel like I probably needed to give it more time, but it didn't reel me in the first episode or two. And for someone who was so time constrained with the time
Yeah.
constraints that I had, I'm like, if it's not reeling me in, then as a Lord of the Rings fan,
Hmm.
I'm maybe I'll come back to it one day, because I have heard good things from some people. I hear mixed reviews is really what I get from it. How do you feel about it? I need to know how you feel
It's-
about it.
it took it was exactly that. I was watching it on release, so as it was coming out, I had to wait
Sure.
a week for each
Oh,
episode.
that's
So right
brutal.
at the beginning, it just didn't feel like I could, like it was worth the wait. Like I'm not counting down till Thursday to watch the show anymore. Like it's not
Yeah.
very good. And then it started to get better, and then it started to get worse again.
Oh, okay. So it was a roller coaster ride. It was a roller
Yeah,
coaster
there
ride.
there were some good parts. You know, they're doing the best they can with the you know the Tolkien Foundation not giving out everything that they want, that they should, to be able to make these projects what they should be.
Yeah.
Um, but there's good background information a lot of people may not know about Lord of the Rings, or I mean Middle Earth in general.
Sure.
Um,
Like the
but
lore
yeah,
and the history of that
Hobbit.
I'm
universe.
I'm
Yeah.
a big lore nerd with Lord of the Rings. Like I love the lore and I love the history of it. And there are some good parts, and then other parts where it's just like you just didn't have to include it if they weren't going to give you everything for it. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you just didn't. If you had to start making things up, and it just felt like a splash in the pond, and then it was gone. And it was just like,
Yeah,
why did
yeah.
we include it?
It's
Uh,
like insignificant or bigger
no,
picture, not all that.
for real Lord of the Rings nerds, it's like, no, that's very very important. That's very
No,
significant. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. But like they could have done more with it, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Like fleshed it out more. It was like
Yeah.
more of a, like you said, a splash in the pond rather than like let's make a wave out of this. You know what I mean? So I feel that.
Don't carve out time for it. If you have the time, it's good to watch here and there, and if you can devote the time, just power through it. But there's going to be a lot of things that you appreciate about it.
Okay. So all right, maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll revisit it, because I actually kind of have been looking for a show to watch. On my nights where I'm not playing Magic and doing all that, or falling
Mhm.
asleep against my will.
There you go.
Well, I'm assuming we know the answer, but if you could live in any one game or movie universe, which one and why? I'm assuming it's Zelda, but is there another
it's
answer?
it's definitely a tie between Zelda and Middle Earth.
Okay.
Hyrule, Middle Earth. We just talked about Lord of the Rings.
Hmm.
What I would do to be a hobbit in the Shire, bro. Not during dark times either. Just chilling,
Yep.
Mhm.
smoking that pipe,
Eating food.
eating, eating food under the tree. Let's do this. Have a wizard stop by every once in a while with some fireworks. Let's do this.
I love that. I love that.
That's Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, the Fellowship of the Ring. The first one is my favorite. I don't. Will I say it's the best one? I think the second one's the best one personally, but the first one's my favorite. I like the light, whimsical feel in the beginning, and then you see the transformation to the dark and serious eventually, and like the stakes that are at hand and stuff. And then the rest of the other two movies, which I love to death, are just dark all the time. And even the end is kind of borderline depressing. You know what I mean? With like, yeah, they won, but Frodo's all messed up now. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the same. Nothing's gonna be the same. We all got to move on to our own lives. Where like in the beginning, everyone's like happy, and then you see that transformation. I like Fellowship is my favorite one. It's my jam.
I get a lot of flack for this too. I think Fellowship is my favorite one, and I will argue that it's the best one. But I also love Boromir. Like Boromir is my favorite character from all three movies.
He's such a good character, you know what I mean? Like that conflict that he, and it's so good. It's so good.
It's the true conflict of men.
Yep.
It's embodied the true conflict
by him.
Of men. Embodied by him.
But he saved his honor in the end, like that heartfelt scene when he, gets unalived. It's really excellent character for sure.
Were many and greater men than him in his time and before him would have fallen into that, fault of man. He chose to stand up and fight for what's right. He did fall, but
yeah,
he fell for the right reason.
Yes, he did. Despite being super tempted at a point, he almost succumbed to it, but he redeemed himself. So yeah, awesome character. That whole movie is on. I'm gonna go watch it now. I'm gonna go watch it now. Every time I think about it, I'm like, I need to go give that a rewatch. Yeah. Now I know what I'm doing after this.
That's my go to sleep movie.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
That was my hangover movie in college too.
If you could meet any celebrity and play or teach them magic, who would it be?
So I mentioned Pennywise earlier. I know that they're smaller. I mean, they're popular and well known within the genre, but like generally speaking, most people don't know their music. They most certainly don't know the singer's name, but his name's Jim Lindberg. If I had an opportunity to sit down and play, if he would even be interested in playing, I would totally want to do that. But if we're talking like bigger celebrities, obvious choice here is Post Malone. I'm not huge on his music, but I love the fact that despite being so famous in the spotlight and all of that, and having his own persona,
he's a nerd.
That he still openly embraces magic and nerdiness. You know what I mean? So like, I can respect that, and he seems like a fun guy to play a game of Magic with too. So that would be cool. So yeah, that's my underground pick and my mainstream pick right there. There's Jim Lindberg and Post Malone.
I like
it. I see that flag there behind you.
This one here?
That Saints flag.
Yeah, who that?
Or his name, was it Jamal Williams, the running back that was there for a few years?
Oh,
that was just always open talking about anime and Pokemon.
Yeah. Was that Jamal Williams, or are you talking about like years ago? Decades ago, like Ricky Williams, was it?
No, not decades ago. It was he was on the Lions recently.
Oh, so yeah, Jamal Williams then. Yeah. I thought you were talking about like well back in the day. Way back.
That guy's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like Pokemon and anime.
Good for him. Dude.
Well, with the community? What's a moment where the community support genuinely surprised you?
I mean, can my whole experience as a content creator as a whole count? Because it's just been, I didn't even know community like
Hmm.
this existed before jumping into making videos. I was literally jumping into it, making videos like in a silo. And as I started engaging more and people started engaging on my content and I would engage back with them in the comments. And so like personally, I guess though, if I had like give moments to it, I've made a few videos and I mean them from the bottom of my heart when I like thank the community for all the support, reaching a certain number of followers, all that kind of stuff. Those videos to like just thank people um, is when I do those videos and then like just the love and support they show in the comments for those videos is just like, this is why I love you guys. You know, you guys are awesome. You know, you make me feel good about myself, you know, when I otherwise wouldn't. You know, I mean, I have a very low self-esteem, believe it or not. You know, like I'm very humble, don't think much of myself type of person. Um, and but like just feeling the love from the community like makes that a little bit more bearable. So that's pretty cool. And the other thing I'm not going to mention any details or names or anything like that, but there's been moments in the community vicariously that I've seen that weren't like about me or involving me, that like good things, but also like tragic, horrible things have happened in the community, and the community has rallied around them, you know, like, and it's that's inspiring. Is just like these people who only know each other through a screen most of the time have each other's backs, and like that's wild to me, and it's awesome. So like I feel the love, I see the love. Let's keep it going.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, I love it. I think this whole community has touched all of us a lot and changed us for the better, which is great.
100%. I love how like all of us content creators, like we're not like viewing each other as competition. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Because like I'm at least I'm not certainly viewing us as that. I'm viewing us as like the community. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like we're all making these our own styles and fun content together. You
Yeah,
know, and contributing to this mosaic of content.
we all have
You
our
know, it's
goals,
awesome.
but you're all still supporting each other too.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Which is why I
We
love this that you do. You know,
Thank you.
it's just it's awesome. It's awesome.
I'm always surprised when people don't have more followers. I'm like, I watch your stuff all the time. You need more followers. You should have more followers than me. Like,
Yeah, there, there's definitely a handful out there. I'm like, how are they like under 1,000? Like,
Mhm.
I just don't get it. Like, I don't want to drop any names, but like like homebrew repairs is awesome, and I think I don't know what he's at right now, but like last time I checked, he was under 1,000. Like, why is this guy under 1,000? He's a great dude. He's like just a great nice guy. He makes funny content. Like let's like where's the love for
Mhm.
him? You know what I mean? He gets it. He gets the love, but he needs more. He needs more love.
Well, also, I think, it would be nice for all of us creators to have all the followers in the world and, you know, uh, make some kind of financial uh, uh, rewards from this, but
That'd be cool.
we're not, but that's the thing, was we're not doing it for that. We're doing it
Yeah,
because we wanted to share our interests, and what we ended up finding was a really cool community that we want to keep interacting with. So
absolutely.
it's not a competition anymore. It's just more about how can we keep this community being special.
Hell yeah. I totally get behind that sentiment. You know, like I mean, like don't get me wrong. I mean, like if monetization falls on my lap, I ain't
Yeah,
gonna complain about it. But like,
me either.
but like, I'm not quitting my day job to become a full time content creator. Either. You know what I mean? Like, this is literally just like you said. It's for the community. It's a hobby as well for me because it's a creative outlet for me.
Yeah.
As I've mentioned. So like, I'm just trying to have fun out here, have a laugh, make people laugh, and play some magic with people. That's my goal. So in that
Well, you're
sense,
doing a damn good job of it.
I've already monetized, if that's my goal. You know what I mean?
You're doing a damn
I'm the
good
richest
job
man
of
in
it.
the world. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
What is the best advice you have ever gotten?
Don't eat the yellow snow.
That's
Don't eat
good
the yellow
advice.
snow.
Good advice for people with snow.
But it would probably have to be something that, I know my mom didn't invent this saying, but I always heard it from my mom is two wrongs don't make a right. And I really think that like it can't be put any better than that. Just because someone does you wrong does something wrong doesn't mean it's okay for you to do something wrong. So I think that's good advice in general. And also don't eat the yellow snow.
I mean, yeah, you feel like you're getting back, but at the end of the day, you're just causing more issues that eventually are going to cause more problems.
Yep, it's not a healthy way to approach things unless it's a game of Magic. I am a very spiteful, grudge-holding person in a game of Magic. I remember when you pinged me for two games ago, and I will focus on you even if it means me not winning. I will focus you down out of pure spite. But that's Magic. It's magic,
magic.
man.
That is magic.
Mix is never going to forgive me for a game that for the game I milled you out that I was eliminated
Oh,
in
yeah,
before
yeah.
you ran out of your
Yeah.
deck.
Yeah. Just out of
I
spite.
wasn't even in the game anymore, and he drew out his deck, and it's like, it's because of me.
It was. But kind of back to that advice, I just want to say, out of all the guests we've had, there's been a lot of advice that people have gotten from their moms. So kind of just a shout out to all moms. Thank you so much for all the advice that you've given us.
Yep.
It's just amazing.
Oh yeah.
Huge shout out to moms.
Shout out to moms.
Yeah. What's something you wish people asked you but never do?
I had this. This is one that I really had to think about because it's like, I think the best thing to say is like, as we've talked about my line of work and some of the stuff in my personal life as well, is like, I mean, first of all, if you couldn't tell by my content, I like to be the one asking the questions. So, I mean, that's first and foremost. But in all seriousness, is like, outside of like close family members and friends, I don't typically get that deep with people, so like, I'd rather keep things surface level. So I don't really mind that people don't ask a lot of questions when they don't ask a lot of questions. And it's mainly because like, I just like to BS, laugh, have light conversation because my line of work is so heavy most of the time. I got my own emotions to deal with in my journey as a parent of an autistic child. So like, there's already a lot of like stuff like that in my life that I don't know if this is what you were intending with this question, but like, I'm okay with not being asked the questions.
Yeah.
So there's not, I guess, to answer your question, there's nothing that I want people to ask that they're not asking.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a completely reasonable response for someone who is constantly having to deal with maybe the more serious aspects of life. It's like, you know what? I did that for 12, 15 hours today. I'm just gonna avoid that right now.
Yeah, let's just talk about Magic. You know what I mean? Like, ask me about my decks. Okay, there's your answer.
Ask about your decks.
People don't ask me enough about my decks. I want them to ask me more about my decks.
I think that's, I think that question was originally, when we had put it down, was for a more serious answer, for us to ask people who may not get that kind of support to be able to
Sure.
get an opportunity to receive that support, but that's completely fine too. Like you
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
and it didn't have to be super serious. It can be simple as like, hey, let's play some Magic. Hey, talk to me about your deck that you're running for the tournament coming up. Tell me more about your Kalidas deck. You know, we got on the
Yes.
conversation of uh, bubbling muck and how you're
Bubbling
running that,
muck.
and how
Yep.
that is a very, you know, vivid card in my brain as a 10-year-old kid when I first started playing Magic. And
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
I didn't even remember what it did until I looked it up. But
But it stood out to you in
yeah.
your memory, yeah.
So yeah, you know, it's a you don't have to give a serious answer.
No.
And that goes for any future guests. It's what do you need?
Like he
What do
was
you need
half
to be
serious, half
I think it
not
was a
so.
great answer. I think
Yeah.
because we all have those, like, part of this podcast is also learning about everybody's backstory and what they do outside of the content. And
Sure.
for some people, it is their outside life, and from this content, it is challenging, and it's a lot for them already. And so this whole content side is just sometimes just a way to blow off steam, sometimes just a way of just getting away from all of that. And
Yeah.
not everybody needs people to delve deeper. And so asking simple questions that you're already doing or interested in, and your content's about, great. That it makes it more exciting.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
understand. Like, for example, I have the days that I work. I deal with so much at work that as soon as I come home, I don't want to deal with anything else. Nothing serious. Nothing really. It's too exhausting.
Yeah.
And I can't. I don't know how much it is. How exhausting it is for you, and not exhausting, but like I don't know how to say the right
It's like
words.
mentally and emotionally draining sometimes.
Correct.
Is the way I would put it for myself, you know,
Yeah.
is but you know, I have my self-care things.
Mhm.
Some
Yep.
are healthy, some are not.
Mhm.
Magic I would consider one of the healthy ones though. So, and the community and just like BSing with people about Magic, you know what I mean? Like I love it. You
Some
know,
of our bank accounts might disagree with that statement.
Yep.
ain't that the truth, bro? Ain't that the truth? I know I only get
Why?
singles, but like I'm just saying the other day I just dropped like $65 on 2 cards. So, I mean, that's a lot of money for 2 cards.
Yeah, it is.
It is a lot of money for 2 cards, but for the chances of you opening those sealed product
Oh yeah.
to get those,
Now that's the rush.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was actually
See,
really funny.
that's not safe scared, dude. That's not safe
There we
scared.
go.
You know what I mean? What if you don't crack it open in the pack? That's terrifying to think of.
Mhm.
Mhm. MTG Chef was talking about the chances of him opening an ancient copper dragon from the Final Fantasy set. And apparently, after the math, it's like a 0.01% chance.
Aren't they
And
also in
so
Baldur's
even,
Gate too?
but he wanted the Final Fantasy one.
The art.
Yeah, the specific art.
Okay, that's when you
So
get stingy too.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
yeah.
so he was like, how many boxes? I can get boxes at a good price right now. And he's like, oh, at those percentages, I'm never going to do it. But he told me that price. And so I bought a box
And
and I opened one in that box.
did.
Hell yeah.
So
So you're
Who
telling me
knows?
there's a chance.
There is a
There's
chance. There's a chance.
That's awesome though. Good pull. Good pull.
it was a very good poll. What is one thing you're interested in that most people may not know?
I'm gonna loop back to the stop motion because
Mm-hmm.
that's not something I really get an opportunity to even like bring up. I mean, like, unless I'm just bringing up out of the blue for the sake of bringing it up, you know, there's not really much opportunity to bring it up, so I don't talk about it that much. And it's a very tedious process, as I mentioned earlier. So like finding the time, energy, and ideas to somehow translate it into my TikTok content has been a challenge. I mean, I'm not going to bring it over here, but I build sets and stuff. I have characters that I've made and stuff like little, they're not puppets, but like figures that I have used and stuff. And I'm definitely planning on incorporating them some way, shape, or form. But yeah, I'm into stop motion, and I think it's an awesome thing. I don't think it's an approach or a style that's really used all that much anymore. So yeah,
I
there's
mean,
that.
I'll see it here and there, but it's always when it's done well, or the it's not just a stop motion film, like there's a more bigger purpose behind it. I've
Sure.
always enjoyed that kind of content. So,
Yeah, yeah.
even like, the silly skits and stuff like that in stop motion are pretty hilarious. So,
Which is what I'm planning on doing with my stop motion, is doing like silly skits, kind of like the ones that I do, but with these little figures instead. You know what I mean? So, and there's a lot more that figures can do on camera that I don't feel. I feel comfortable doing quite a few things, but they can take it even further. So, because they're little characters, not me. So,
I
I
may
get.
or may not do a podcast with my pants off, but
I mean,
who's to
I mean,
say?
no, 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 no.
Chef would be
We'll
so
save that
excited
for
right now.
we'll save that for the Patreon.
Oh yeah, no, everyone sign up for my OnlyFans, and I'm just playing. Uh, yeah,
My only packs.
I would have to pay people to watch me.
Please, please,
please watch
look
me.
at me.
We all know we have community members that would just watch.
Oh,
Chef.
just,
Oh, yeah.
just, oh,
Yeah,
for
Chef.
sure. Chef would totally watch.
Yeah.
And I would let him watch for free. Wait, what? No.
Whoa, whoa.
Wait, what? Wait, I'm cutting out here. I'm cutting out.
Well, what or who has been your biggest inspiration in your life?
It's another one I had to really think. So like, it's a tie between. I'm gonna go with the obvious one first. Is my dad. He's just such like the stuff he has to deal with. My mom. And he always just walks around with this like light, happy attitude all the time. Like he's like never mad, never depressed, never anxious, always either neutral to happy. Outside of like his knees killing, because my dad is getting older now. He's like 75. But like besides like his knees barking at him, as he says, like he just maintains this like happy-go-lucky attitude all the time, and even in the face of people doing things that like, because I have my mom's temper, but I have a little bit of my dad in me to like, it takes a lot to get me there. My mom, it doesn't take a lot to get her pissed off. My dad, like, you can do pretty much anything to him and he won't get pissed off. I'm like somewhere in the middle. Like, it takes a while and then I'm pissed off, but like my dad just never gets pissed off. And again, like being the parent of my sister, like especially when she was younger, she had a lot of seizures and a lot of other things going on. He worked in a steel factory his whole life, and I'm like, how are you happy? Like, how are you happy? But he maintains it, and he's just everything's a joke, and he's very witty and stuff. So like that, I admire that in him. He's like one of the greatest dudes I know, and I know that's cliche to say and blah blah blah, but he's one of the greatest dudes I know.
No.
The other inspiration for me is honestly my wife. Like her strength and resilience through a lot of different things throughout life is just like admirable, and like I can only hope to be as strong as her, and I'm glad that she's my partner, my best friend. Trying to reel her into more content, but I might have all that juice might have been squeezed in our younger years, but I made her do a lot of skits that in short films. She was dragged through the the dirt in the woods for this one like horror short film that I made back in the day. So she puts up with a lot with me for sure. But the way she's just so resilient, strong, and like responsible, while also being funny and like able to have a good time. Like she's not like serious all the time either. So it's like I really admire her and inspires me. I can only be hope to be as strong as she is one day. And time's running out. I guess. No.
That's
So
great.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
I always am very confused about people who have just such a positive look and just mentality towards every little thing they do. It's I love it so much. My older brother is very much that. We call him Peter Pan a lot of times, and it's frustrating because he lives in this really perfect world that's not perfect in reality, which causes problems. But just his mentality in general has been something that I've always admired of his and
Like
loved.
wish you could
So
have a little piece of for yourself.
it's
Right? Is
it just makes it's like every time you see him, it's like, why do I think life sucks? Like, why am I depressed at times? Like, this person has to deal with the same things I do, but look at him.
Yep.
He's putting on roller skates and getting hand weights and like these giant tall hand weights and just like skating down the street for fun without his shirt on, not a care in the world of how he looks. He's just having the greatest time in the world, and it's just like, I don't
Man,
understand you, man. To be
that
that free.
confidence and that free. It's must be liberating, man.
Yeah.
It must be liberating. I can't even. I mean, I'd bust my ass in roller skates. So that's out of the question for me. But,
Another quick fun story about my brother. When he came home from college, he wanted to go grab lunch with me, so we walked somewhere to go grab lunch, and he saw this tree that looked like a good climbing tree. And so he's like, hold on, we're halfway to where we're going to go to eat. And my brother needed to climb this tree. And that next Monday at school, I had several people come up to me and ask me why I was walking down the street with a homeless man who was climbing trees. And I said, it's not a homeless man. That is just my brother. And he just thought they were really good trees.
it was just, he said I saw that tree and I had to climb it.
I had to
Like,
climb it.
I had to climb that tree. See, but see, that's like a freedom though. Like like, and it's not just a freedom. Like I'm gonna do what I want right now.
No.
Is like I don't give a fuck what people think about me when I'm doing it, and that's the part to me that I'm like that I guess I envy. Is like total disregard for what other people think of you, which can be dangerous at times. Like there's obviously I'm not saying your brother's this way, but there's a line there. Where
Oh,
like it
he
can go too
crosses the line.
far.
He crosses the line. Openly
So
admitted. That's why we call him Peter Pan.
he's in Neverland.
He's always in Neverland. He will never grow up. He's got
He'll never
two
grow up.
two beautiful, beautiful kids that he's an awesome father to. But there's a time that he needs to be reminded that he's a 40-year-old man and not a 12-year-old kid.
Well, so see, it comes with its own unique set of challenges, I guess.
Yeah.
Being that free.
Definitely. Well, I think that was our last question we have for you. We'll open up the questions to the chat. If anybody has any questions, please set them in the chat. But before we do that, do you have anything for us? Any questions for us?
How'd I do?
Great.
No, I mean, it's when are we tapping some cards? That's the question.
I mean, there's been people who are been messaging me this evening trying to get me to tap cards later tonight. But I'm usually always free in the evenings. My evenings are a little bit later than yours,
Because
typically.
you're 3 hours behind me.
Yeah.
So right now it's
But
11:25 where I'm at.
oh, yep, it's 8:30. I'm
Yeah.
rocking and rolling. But no, if anybody ever wants to set up a game, like if you ever want to play, shoot me a DM and we'll get it squared away.
We'll figure something out. All right. Yeah.
I like tapping cardboard.
Yeah. Me too. I'm all about it.
I just bought. Chef just sent me my new commander choices for my 32 deck challenge. So
Ooh. How many are you? Where are you at with that now?
So I had 13. I'm down to 11 left. I think
11 left. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have like 21,
Let me double check.
21-ish decks right now
Um,
completed.
yeah. So I have everything but mono blue, and colorless for monocolored. So that's not it. So I'm missing mono blue, colorless, Esper, Bant, Abzan, and a bunch of 4-color decks.
The 4 colors are the toughest because like the options are pretty limited, unfortunately.
Super limited.
Yeah.
They,
So
I mean,
you don't have Esper yet. I mean, that's
no, I'm not an Esper player. Not an Esper player at all. I love black.
What's up,
Don't
everybody?
get me wrong, I love black, but Soul Tie is where I typically
green, black, blue. Right?
yes,
Yeah,
green,
yeah,
black, blue, or I love Gruul. I love red, green.
red, green. See, I'm not a huge red and green are probably my 2 least favorite colors, or at least, yeah, I guess they're my least favorite. I use them the least. But black, white, and blue, man, Esper. Whew. So I love
What's up,
control. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Is like I love control decks. Love playing against them. I love playing with them. I love mirror matches, control versus control, battle of the wits. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's such a boring game," but as I mentioned with my movies, I like slow burns. I like
Yeah,
to
there you go.
Let's slow this game down. Why are we rushing, fellas? Let's slow down a little bit. Let me board wipe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times.
That's too many. Too many.
That's a good.
My Azorius, my Elminster Azorius control deck runs 12 board wipes.
Ugh.
12 board wipes, 9 or 10 counter spells, and probably like 7 or 8 spot removals, and the rest is just card draw upon card draw,
Just to get
and
it.
just to dig for Approach of the Second Sun. I did tweak it a little bit in preparation for this game with King Luke on Saturday. I had something like a Narset's Reversal. I'm going to counter my own spell, return it to my hand so I can cast it again and win the game on the spot. That's the hope.
There you
That's
go.
the hope. That's the hope.
There you go. That's that. I never thought about doing that, but yeah, that works. That definitely works.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to hate white. White was my least favorite color, and then I built Appa, and I've just found this weird obsession with this deck, and it's so fun.
What was it? What was the deck?
Appa.
Oh, Appa. Yeah.
Mix knows. It's basically you can't touch me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't touch me.
I'll gain a bunch of life. I'll have a bunch of little 1/1s on the battlefield, and I'll eventually win. But you'll never be able to touch Appa.
That
Okay.
sounds fun though.
I have 2 questions, but then West Coast also has 2. First, were you in the Scouts as a kid?
I was.
You were? Did you get your eagle?
No, I did not. I was made to be in Scouts by my mom and my dad. Like they
Yep. They thought it would
kinda
be
like,
good
it
for
looks
you.
good. good on your resume
Oh my,
one
yeah.
day. Yeah, only if you get Eagle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Um,
that's what my mom said too, and I never got it.
I never. So, I mean, in boys like starting with like the ranks like tenderfoot, and then there's like second class, first class. Like
Mhm.
I was a tenderfoot up until my last day in Scouts, and then on that last day was able to check off a couple things in the book, and I went from tenderfoot to first class on my last day, and then it was over.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed the the social aspect of the
Hmm.
Scouts. I
Yeah.
loved the camping trips and the events and stuff. That was fun. Um, but I was not I was not motivated to actually accomplish anything in Scouts.
Yeah.
So
I think if I ever have kids, I'm not gonna push them like my parents did with me. Like, yeah, it does. Sure, it does look good on a resume if you do get the Eagle, but it's also like you said, the experience and the social aspect of it. It's really fun.
it is
And I
fun.
think I'm gonna try to like push for that, not the whole resume thing.
My older son is in Boy Scouts actually,
Really?
but it's willingly.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were like, "Hey, do you want to try it?" And he
Mhm.
said, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, you could try it. If you don't like it, you don't have to keep doing it. I'm not going to force him to do something he doesn't want to do."
Yep.
In that, when it's something like that, you know,
Mhm.
obviously there's other things, his responsibilities in life, but like when it comes to Boy Scouts and stuff like that, it's like if you don't like it, we don't have to do it anymore.
Mhm.
But he likes it so far, so keep it going.
Yeah. Perfect.
My parents told us we always had to be doing something of some kind, um, but we had to choose it. So,
Okay.
like, like if it was
A
baseball
sport.
season, it's like if you're
Yeah.
not playing baseball, you got to pick something else out. But whatever we picked, it was our responsibility. It's like if you want to stop doing it, you have to go tell your coach or you have to go tell your teacher that you're going to stop doing it. So once upon a time in second grade, I decided I wanted to be in the choir because
Okay.
there were some cute girls and my best friend was doing it, and
All right.
I was not a good singer,
Fair
nor
enough.
did I like singing at that time, and so I told my mom that I wanted to stop going to choir, and she made me go up to my choir teacher and tell her that I was quitting.
Mm.
Gave me ownership of it
That,
though.
that's a good lesson to walk away with,
Mm-hmm.
though. You know what I mean? I can't. It's a good idea. As
You're
much as
gonna
it might have been uncomfortable,
mhm.
but
If you're gonna decide to do something and you want to do it, I'm not gonna stop doing it for you.
yeah,
You're gonna do
yeah,
this yourself.
It's one of those real life uh, qualities that people should have, and it's very respectful too for like your
yeah,
jobs. Like
yeah.
you should not just quit. You should put
Yeah,
in a 2 week
and
notice, tell them you're leaving, do all this. Like,
do things properly, and
correct.
you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's good.
See, when it came to like team sports and stuff, because I played base like t-ball and
Mm.
little league and stuff like that growing up, and again, it's because my mom would make me do something, and I was like, it'd be like halfway through the season, like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's like, well, you have to finish out the season because you'll let your team down. Like, first of all, Mom, I'm sitting out in the outfield kicking,
Kicking dirt.
Catch
kicking dirt.
butterflies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I ain't got to be letting nobody down. In fact, the grass will probably be happy. Uh, but I can get where she was coming from.
Mhm.
In retrospect, it's like you let people down. Like, don't commit to something that you're not going to follow through all the way on until the end. And um, but I like a hybrid approach with what you were just saying that. But if you're going to, you're going to be the one to
Yep.
have to say you're letting them down.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
My
shout
mom,
out to
my parents
moms.
always had those fun little lessons.
Yeah.
My dad, every time we went into a store, and be like, "Dad, I want that toy." Oh yeah, how does it feel to want? Just because you want the toy doesn't mean you're going to get it. When you
Yeah,
become
yeah.
they say when you become an adult, there's going to be several things that you're going to want when you walk into a place.
Yep.
Doesn't mean you're going to be able to get them.
Yep. Exactly. So that's a valuable lesson too.
Yep.
Doesn't
Wes,
mean he didn't buy me things. It was just teaching me the lesson that just
And now
because
you
I
have a
wanted
mountain of
something, I
sealed
didn't get it.
product in your
Hmm.
house.
Yep.
I wish. I wish.
I wish.
No, it's not sealed. It's already opened.
Oh, they're open. Oh, yes, you're opened. You're half sealed, half open.
West Coast second question is: do you have a favorite meal from childhood that you still eat as an adult? That's a
Holy shit!
I know.
That's a-
I'm thinking of it, and the only thing I can think of is, I don't eat it on a regular basis, but if I could find it, those French fry smiley face things from school,
I
Oh,
got some
from
of those
school
in my
lunches?
freezer.
those are good. Yeah, which I think they sell them. I don't go out of my way to get them, but those are
like
good.
the smiley potatoes that you get to get in the frozen bag, right?
Mhm.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got those in the fridge. I
Hey,
got those in the... So I guess I'll say like growing up, my mom's coming up a lot today. It's very Freudian. No, no. My mom used to. She still does every once in a while. Makes homemade meatloaf with homemade mac and cheese,
Mm,
and she's not like squirting Velveeta sauce into it. She's like four
real.
different cheeses and creamy and all that, and it is banging. And she still makes that to the day, but it's not something like I'm craving all the time. But when my mom was like, "Hey, when you guys come over this weekend, you want me to make the meatloaf and mac and cheese?" I will always say yes.
Yeah.
I will always say yes. So, meatloaf and mac and cheese. But my favorite food overall is Mexican food. I can eat Mexican food every day, all day, and I'm cool with it. Spicier the better. I love spicy foods. I like burning my mouth.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can never wrap my head around Mexican food in like states like yours. It just
what do
doesn't
you?
seem like it would work.
What?
Oh, yeah.
And Oregon is right next to us, and they mess up Mexican food so terribly that it's like a different cuisine up there.
But you have to remember, New Jersey and New York is one of the most diverse parts of the country.
Yeah, that's true.
We got the best of every kind of food over here. New York and New Jersey. I maybe California. You might edge us out on the Mexican food. I'll give you that.
It's so
But
good.
but I mean, we got authentic Mexican places. Even I'm in suburban New Jersey, and there is probably four authentic Mexican places, and then there's like the chains like Chipotle and stuff like
Mhm.
that floating around, and, but like there is the authentic like holes in the walls, and there's actually one right up the street, and they're banging. I love Mexican food. I'm so hungry right now, guys. Thank
Yeah.
you.
It's not good too.
Time for a midnight snack.
Mhm. Speaking of more food, there's two questions that we usually ask on the podcast. First,
All right.
what's your opinion on pineapple on pizza?
Let's just say when we order pizza in my house, we'll get half Hawaiian.
You do have kids.
Yeah. Well, they get the plain. They don't like toppings, surprisingly. They
Oh,
have any
okay. So it's
toppings.
your choice, your wife's choice.
Yeah, yes. So my
Yeah.
wife I get my choice for half, and she gets her choice for half. And I'm just saying, I'm not the one ordering the Hawaiian.
Okay. But
Neither
technically, I
way.
still get one because his wife gets it too.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't count.
It does count.
Doesn't count.
You don't
No.
eat any of that pizza that she orders? None of her half?
Nope. I eat
Mm.
all my four slices. Hell yeah. But I usually get I like sausage, onions, and peppers and stuff like that. I don't like olives. That's my least favorite thing.
Oh, see,
That's
this
good.
is
I'm such
this
a
is
bad
perfect.
Italian.
Finally, someone on my side. My roommate's girlfriend gets the most atrocious pizza in the world. It's pineapple and olive. It's
Well,
Yeah, awful, awful, awful,
Pineapple
awful, awful.
See,
perfect.
I will say though, in pineapple pizza's defense, it's it's not the idea of it that I don't like. I just simply don't like pineapple,
Okay.
Oh,
even
dang
by
it.
itself. Even by itself.
Okay.
This is the part of the argument that I don't win now.
So
Just because you don't like pineapple, it's not the pineapple
Yeah,
on the
it's the
pizza that's the
pineapple
issue. It's
itself.
the pineapple
I mean,
itself.
I think it's bizarre because I don't like sweet with my savory either in
Ah,
general.
okay.
So like, but I also like if you imagine putting any other kind of fruit on pizza is not appealing to me either, even fruits that I like.
Hmm.
Hey, let's have a banana on pizza. Let's do banana pizza
No, no, thank you.
with a nice chocolate drizzle. I don't like sweet with savory unless I like sweet with salty when like I love my chocolate
Hmm.
covered pretzels, dude. I love chocolate covered pretzels.
Yeah.
Give me a bag of flips.
What's
That's
your
good.
go-to beverage?
Water, dude.
Water, dude.
I love an ice cold water. I mean, I will once in a while wash down some food with a Coca Cola.
Hmm.
I don't. I as far as soda is concerned, Coke is the only soda I drink when I drink it. I'm not huge on. I'll take a couple sips of Sprite, but I never finish a can of Sprite. I always take a couple sips and I'm done with it. I don't like Dr. Pepper. I don't like any other kind of soda really. I
Okay.
I mean, orange I can mess with once in a blue, but again, I don't finish the can.
Usually it's
Coke,
orange.
yeah, I like Coke, not Pepsi. Coke.
Coke.
There is a difference, people.
Oh, there is. Yeah, definitely.
Pepsi's sweeter with less carbonation. I feel like it goes. It's like flatter out of the bottle than Coke
Hmm.
is, and I like the bubbles.
Yeah.
There's a bite to it.
Yeah, it's got a. I like it
It's
to
like
hurt when it's. I like it to hurt going down. Come on.
mhm. There's nothing better than a nice, spicy, crisp Diet Coke. I love a crisp, spicy Diet Coke. Just
Oh
like
yeah.
it hits your tongue and it just like attacks it. And it's like,
Hell yeah.
yeah, give me this
Love it.
alien juice.
But generally, like most days, I only drink water.
That's
Not
good.
enough of it,
Awesome.
but I do drink it. Coffee, I do like in the morning though.
What was that word?
Coffee.
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 Oh,
Coffee.
coffee.
Oh,
Coffee.
got
Yeah,
some
yeah,
Coffee.
coffee.
I like coffee in the morning, bro. Coffee. Coffee.
There's that. There's that New Jersey
New
coming out.
Jersey.
I was
Coffee.
waiting for it to come out. I could
My
never really
wife's
like pick it out.
my wife's is a lot stronger than mine. Her whole
Really?
family's is a lot stronger than my family's. Cause like my my family comes from a little bit more South Jersey, which is like so. The further south in New Jersey you get, the more boonies it gets. Like you
Okay.
get the
Mhm.
Pine Barrens with the like miles of forest and stuff, which is where my parents live now. But they grew up in like on the border of that, and my my main I don't even know how or why. Even my dad doesn't know why. My grandma, my father's mother, has had she passed away. She had this like twang in the way she spoke. Like it wasn't like a southern accent, but it was like, oh well, Mabel. Like I can't even mimic it because when I do, it sounds more like a southern accent, and it wasn't like full blown southern accent.
Hmm.
It was like this redneck New Jersey accent.
It's the sticks. It's the Appalachia.
Yeah, that's it was that kind of accent my grandma had, but my dad doesn't have it. But we don't have a very strong like New York influenced New Jersey accent. My wife's family, on the other hand, they talk like all the people do on those like those Real House like the mob wives and stuff
Mhm.
on those
Mhm.
Real Housewives reality shows and stuff like getting a
What are you
little
talking
Pomeranian.
about?
What are you talking about? You're getting a little Pomeranian, you know.
Oh
You
my
know, like
god.
oh my god. It's not that bad with my wife, but like her grandma is like she's got a wild accent too. Like And that's the thing that people confuse a lot is New Jersey versus New York accents. People like make fun of you like the accent we're just making fun of is technically a New York accent.
Yeah.
It's all of them moving down into New Jersey that and of course that show Jersey Shore, they were all from like Staten Island,
Yeah.
not New Jersey. You know what I mean? Like
They're not real Jersey kids.
They're not. Jersey. I'm not saying we don't. Everybody has an accent from where they're from. It's just but like New York is the one that stands out, but Jersey gets a bad rep for it because we don't say Joyzy. We don't say that. It's New Jersey. No, we don't talk like that.
Mm-hmm.
Real New Jerseyans call it Jersey. So
Jersey, just very plain and dry.
It's very no accent. No, just.
I've never been told I have a Southern Californian accent.
I didn't even know Southern. You
I
don't
don't
sound like you have an accent.
I don't even know Californians have an accent.
We do, and it's terrible.
Gnarly,
I hear it all the time.
Yeah, that
no.
and the surfer.
Going, bro, surfing.
The word "like" is used way too much here in Southern California. We have to like, and we say "fuck" way too much.
Oh yeah.
It's everything, every other word down here.
Is that considered an accent, or you guys just the way you talk?
We just have dirty mouths.
We just have dirty mouths.
We struggle articulating ourselves, so we curse a lot and say "like" a lot.
It's bad.
Jersey's not that much different though. Lots of swearing up here.
I think it's just an American
We curse
thing.
people off for fun, Driving the speed limit in the fast lane, getting pissed off at you.
Oh yeah. Last question. I don't see any more in the chat, but the last question we usually ask on the podcast too. Lasagna, hot or cold? Which one's better?
Lasagna, hot or cold?
Mm-hmm. So there are good points for it being cold.
I'll eat the shit out of lasagna either way. So that's my disclaimer here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go with room temperature lasagna.
Okay. That's
After
fair.
it's cooled down, but it's not like it's not like cold out of the fridge either. But if you're strictly saying cold or hot, I'm gonna go with hot. But room temperature, like once it's cooled down a bit. Like
I mean,
it's still
done eating. I'm going back for seconds. The seconds taste better.
yes, that's the best way to put it because it's cooled down enough to where it still keeps its form and it doesn't just completely turn into this giant mess when you try to cut through it. But, it's still not like a brick in ice cold when you're putting it into your mouth. So
yes,
I'm fair with that take. I'm fair with that. I like cold lasagna over hot lasagna.
Okay. And
I like a consistent bite all the way throughout, and a lot of people think it's the weirdest thing ever.
because it does move around like when it's like fresh out the oven, dude. It does like
when you take a bite of it, when you start putting your fork through and it just slips all over.
Yeah, and it just like kind of like falls apart a little bit. So that's why the room temperature, because it solidifies enough, like the cheese coagulates or whatever the hell.
I like the melty cheese though.
It's still melty enough though. It's just cool. It just solidifies just enough where it's not falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
Room temperature.
I'm okay with that.
When you try to cut lasagna, it's like two massive tectonic plates drifting apart and forming new Pangea.
It's causing a rift on my plate. Cold or hot lasagna? Never been asked that question before.
That developed from like my dad. We were on topics of leftovers, like pizza. We're talking about pineapple and pizza, and someone's like, "Well, I actually prefer like pizza out of the fridge, like day old pizza." It's like, well, that's a lie. That is a straight up lie. Like there's something to cold pizza, but cold pizza out of the fridge is never better than fresh pizza, in my opinion.
No, but I still fuck with it.
Yeah,
Still?
yeah, I'll still eat it. I'm not saying it's not delicious.
Mm-mm.
But then, like my dad is a weirdo and he loves leftovers. Like he prefers having cold food and he will just eat a bowl of cold leftovers, no problem. And I was thinking about, I was like, I actually prefer lasagna cold. And that became like a hot take. And I won't name names, but this person said they like cold casseroles. Like they like casseroles that are a day old. And I was like,
Okay.
wait, so you told me you like cold casseroles and you like cold pizza, but a lasagna is a pizza casserole.
That's basically what it is.
Do that. Don't do that.
So,
do
so point made
Math.
here.
Math ain't mathin'.
Math ain't mathing.
It's not a casserole just because it's in a casserole dish.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's more of a parfait with the layers.
How do you make enchiladas? Do you put enchiladas in a what's it
Casserole
called?
dish?
Yeah, is that a casserole?
My mom
Are
did.
enchiladas casseroles then?
My mom did. My
So they are
mom
casseroles.
didn't. My mom didn't roll her enchiladas. She would layer it like a lasagna.
Mm.
See,
So it's like I never had rolled up
Mexican
enchiladas
lasagna.
till way later in life.
so that got me thinking about casserole, like in lasagna. Like, I feel like a casserole is less structured in and of itself, where there's a rhyme and reason to the lasagna. There's layers intentionally put on certain, you put the pasta part of it, then you put a layer of the ricotta cheese, and then this and this and this and this and that, and it's calculated. Where a casserole, in my mind, is something that's just like
Mixed
you
in
mix
and with
this
a layer on
mixture
the top.
together, and then you cook it, maybe top it with cheese or whatever you're topping it with.
I would argue that then a lasagna is just actually multiple casseroles stacked on top of each other.
Oh my gosh.
It's inception or whatever.
Yeah. Well. So is a lasagna, the way you eat lasagna, is it an ice cream sandwich?
What was that?
What is an ice cream sandwich? Or I guess it's ice cream. Never mind. What is lasagna a sandwich then when you eat it cold?
No, I'm eating it with a fork.
But do you have
What?
to eat it with a fork when it's
It doesn't
cold?
mean it makes it a sandwich though. If you don't eat it with a fork,
There's still sauce.
what's considered a sandwich?
It's a sloppy Joe. You sloppy Joes are messy.
What are you talking?
I don't,
Yes.
want to get into, I don't even want to get
Okay.
into the topic of
Okay.
what's a what is a sandwich, what is
Yeah,
not a
right, right.
sandwich. I ran a hot dog place. I'm gonna say hot dog because it was a glorified sausage place. But yeah, every day I got asked, "Oh, hey Nick, do you think a hot dog is a sandwich?" I was like, "Yeah, hot dog's a hot dog. Hot dog's
Hot
a hot
dog's
dog."
not hot dog.
A sandwich, but okay.
You're
Well-
just doing this to me now.
I think that is it, and that is our time.
All right.
Is there anything you both want to say before we leave the end of the stream?
Just want to say thanks for having me, and I appreciate it. The invite, this opportunity to sit and have an awesome conversation with you guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
that.
Thank you so much.
Of
If you
course,
guys
thank you.
aren't following him, please go follow MagicAddict24 and check out his Discord on his channel. He did just do a bracket 3, the March Madness. Is that what you're calling it?
Magic Madness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Magic Madness. Unfortunately, it is closed, but you can spectate, right?
Yes, you can
You have that
spectate,
option?
and there's casual games happening in there too. So
Go check out his Discord. Go hang out.
good time.
Play some Magic. One last thing, though. We also, for mixed results, we created our own TikTok. We're trying to get up more followers so then we can eventually go live on that channel instead of strictly mine. So please go check us out, share, follow, get our followers up so we can start going live on that.
Hell yeah.
And this will be recorded and put onto a couple other platforms.
Yep.
So if you guys missed parts of the pod that you want to go back and rewatch, please let us know, and we will give you the links to go find those once they get put up.
Perfect.
But thank you guys, and everybody have a wonderful night.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for having me again. Thanks.